Hello, everyone. Welcome to the program. My name is William Hemsworth. It's great to be with you all today. My guest, she's the host of Journeys in Faith on Fiat Ministry Network Fridays at 8:30 p.m., co-host of Sowing Heart at Patchwork Heart Radio, and she's the director of the St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation. Ann Desantis. Ann, how are you today?
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, William, for having me on the show.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for coming on. It's always a pleasure to talk with you.
Oh,
So I know,
same to you.
so I've been meaning to ask you to come on my program for a while, and I guess with kids in the background, I slip my mind sometimes, so I'm sorry. So I meant to ask
Oh,
you
no
on sooner.
apologies. I have kids too, but they're just a little older. So,
So before we get into the foundation, maybe give us a brief summary of who Saint Raymond Nonnatus is. Maybe we can start there.
oh, absolutely. So, anyway, I am the director for the St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation for Freedom, Family, and Faith. You can learn about us at our website at nonnatus.org. And I would also invite you who's watching to go to our website because we actually have a page dedicated to St. Raymond Nonnatus. So,
Mhm.
that page and the information that I'm giving you, the page will fill in the blanks of information that I might not be able to mention, just because, there's always extensive information about a saint and it's hard to memorize everything.
Right.
But basically, he's from the 13th century. The Mercedarian religious order was founded in 1218 by St. Peter Nolasco. And St. Raymond Nonnatus is probably the most famous Mercedarian saint. And the foundation that I represent, uh, they are the Mercedarian religious order. As I said, it's the Order of Mercy, and you can learn about them at orderofmercy.org. There's also a lot of information there about all the different Mercedarian saints, and there are several. But Saint Raymond Nonnatus is really their most famous saint. And the order was founded in Barcelona, Spain in the year 1218. And Saint Raymond Nonnatus was a priest, and he was basically proclaiming the gospel to those who were in danger of losing their faith. Namely, at that time, there was a lot of oppression against the Christians, and the Christians were being held captive at that time. It was against certain regimes that were uh, lording over the Christians, and that Saint Raymond Nonnatus was one of those priests who was trying to bring the gospel of Christ to all. And of course, he was condemned for that. Now, he was not martyred. He was almost martyred, though. When he was on his way to Rome, they actually captured him and padlocked his lips. So sometimes you'll see
Wow.
that, you'll see that picture of Saint Raymond Nonnatus where they actually have the padlock on his lips. And so he was definitely tortured. He is the patron saint of expectant mothers, of also families that are in crisis. That's why, we are the St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation for families in crisis. So any families that are undergoing challenges. So he is the patron of family life. And he's also the patron saint of other things as well. But those two are kind of the main things. So it's really a blessing to be part of this foundation, and also to bring Saint Raymond Nonnatus and his intercession to so many. And our biggest saint really is Our Lady of Mercy. And
Okay.
and so we always pray to her and ask for the intercession of Our Lady of Mercy within this religious order of the
Okay.
Mercedarians.
Great. Now, when did the foundation begin, and what's its goal? What are you guys trying to accomplish for everyone out there?
Yeah, thank you so much. It was founded in 2015 by the Mercedarian friars. Namely, there was a couple friars that came together. They had attended the World Meeting of Families back in 2015 when Pope Francis came to Philadelphia, which is where the foundation is headquartered. We're also in 4 cities, and by that I mean that the order in the United States is in 4 cities. That's in Cleveland, Ohio, St. Petersburg, Florida, and also Western New York, and as I said, headquartered in Philadelphia. I also would like to backtrack if I could, because you
Sure.
were asking me about St. Raymond Nonnatus. He's also the patron saint of those who are falsely accused. And,
Oh,
and as
okay.
I said, Christian families and preborn babies too. So always pray to St. Raymond Nonnatus for those pregnant moms and the babies too. Now, so when the friars attended the World Meeting of Families, they were trying to discern what direction they wanted to go in, because they wanted to start a foundation, but they weren't sure exactly what direction to go in. So they prayed about it. And when they were there at the World Meeting, they went to a talk by Rose Sweet. And William, I don't know if you know Rose. Rose is a national Catholic author, and she herself is a divorced Catholic, and she's written many books and done programs to help families affected by divorce and separation. So with that said, the friars decided that they didn't think that there was much going on in terms of religious orders that were making outreach to families affected by divorce. So that's what they decided to start it out with. And so part of what we do is the outreach to divorced and separated. And of course, as I said, families in crisis. And of course, there's all kinds of crisis that families can undergo, including addictions, people who are affected by life-threatening illnesses, families where there's someone sick, anything to do with pornography or with like I said, all of those other addictions. So that's what we try to do, is make that outreach to families to try to help them with the offerings that we have, which I can definitely tell you about.
Oh, sure. Before we get there, though, I mean, you mentioned helping those that go in, divorce, separation. So why is that demographic so key to help right now?
Well, I think so. I think because there are so many Catholics affected by divorce. And I have learned that since I've been in this foundation as the director. I've been the director for 3 years now. And every week we get people coming to us who are looking for help. Sometimes it's a person who they broke up with their spouse, or their spouse just up and left. Maybe it's something to do with an addiction or something else. But it does cause that family split. So we always pray for those families. Obviously, the Catholic Church's goal is to keep families intact, right? I mean, It's so important to keep them together and to pray that families can stay together. But we are also there for people who do wind up being and staying divorced and maybe wind up getting annulled as well, to offer them that support through our friars and through what we do.
So how do you provide support for them? Because that's a huge thing. I mean, I know I've been on your podcast before. I've gone through a divorce, and there's a lot that goes on with someone during that time. So what are some things that you help those people with?
Well, if you go to our website, I would say to anyone watching to please do go to nonnatus.org. It's spelled NONNATUS.org. And then we have a host of different pages there that you can look at, having to do with family crisis, having to do with divorce and separation. So I'll tell you the 3 offerings that we have at this current time. And as we all know, we're in a pandemic. Hopefully we're ending this pandemic. But it hasn't been easy. So everything that we're offering right now is online. So number one, and this isn't online, this is spiritual, is we offer prayer. And we have the backing of a whole religious order. As I said, we were founded in Spain. We are all over the world, the Mercedarian order. And we're in the United States, in those places that I mentioned to you at the beginning. So when we get prayer requests, we do give them to our priests and let them know, especially our spiritual moderator. And he works very closely with me. His name is Father Ken Breen. And he's always taking those requests and giving them to the other friars to pray for them, for those families. So that's first. Secondly, we offer special podcasts, which if you go to our YouTube channel, and it's actually called Philly Nonnatus, Philly, like the city of Philadelphia, which is where I'm from and where we're headquartered. And so you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we have, every month, we do special podcasts. We have one whole series that's specifically for divorced and separated Catholics. And then we have another one for families in crisis. And they're for the issues that families go through aside from divorce, or maybe other issues, even if they are divorced or separated. There's all kinds of other crisis issues. And we have really great guests. I mean, you've been one of the guests on our Families in Crisis podcast. So that was also amazing that you were a guest on that video podcast. So thank you. That's one of the biggest things we do, is we're offering our Catholic content, really good, solid Catholic content. And as you know, Bill, I'm also the host of 2 other shows, which is Sowing Hope with Bill Snyder on Patchwork Heart Ministry. So you can also subscribe to that whole series of podcasts and videos, which are on Fiat Ministry Network,
Mhm.
and the Journeys in Faith show, which is on Fiat Ministry Network on Facebook Live, which I've hosted a lot of different guests, authors, nonprofit speakers, doing wonderful work. So that's the online content that we do. And then the really special thing that we do is we offer free spiritual consultation with a Mercedarian friar. So if you're watching this right now and your family's in crisis, if you're affected by divorce and separation or someone that you know, you can make an appointment with us. I'll also give you my email address to make that appointment. It's simply director dot and then the initials of the foundation. So it's director.srnf, St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation @gmail.com. So just go there, send me an email, or go to our website to the contact page, and I will make an appointment with our Mercedarian friar and or myself too, because I can also take appointments with people. I've heard a lot of stories, and I'm always happy to listen and pray to the people that come to us. So to answer your question, yeah, there are the three things that we're doing. So it's prayer, the podcast, the videos, and also the free spiritual consultation.
Now, if someone were interested in the spiritual consultation, what should they expect?
So what they would expect is that Father will spend at least an hour, sometimes even more, but usually about an hour with them, and as many appointments as they need. You know, as you and I know, going through therapy and things like that can be very, very expensive.
Right.
And sometimes people don't really essentially need specifically therapy. Sometimes they do, but sometimes they just need someone to talk about spiritual matters. Yeah. So that's why we call that spiritual consultation. As many appointments as you need, free of charge. All you need to do is contact us, and Father would be happy to be there for you, listen to you. And another big thing that we do is just offer other resources. So we may not be the group that you will wind up with, but we can point you in the direction to where you need to go. If you do need a Catholic counselor, we are not certified, licensed psychologists or counselors. And we do make sure that we tell people that too. So if you're looking for a counselor, then we also have resources on our site too, good Catholic counselors that we can recommend. So, but we're there for the spiritual end. And anytime, I get people that text me or call on our line and give us a prayer request. So we just like to leave that door open, like Pope Francis has said, that field hospital.
Right.
And that's part of what we're doing, is trying to be that field hospital for families in crisis.
Great. Yeah. And I clicked on the outside resources link on your website, and like I said, there's tons of resources there. I mean, there's Overeaters Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous, rehab programs, pornography addiction help, all kinds of things there that you're providing links to. That, I mean, let's be honest, and you've seen it firsthand. Just there's a lot of people out there struggling with things like that, and so I think it's great that you can point them in the right direction.
Yeah, thank you. It's really an honor too, and I also have to mention that everything is confidential. So we do not share. We really hold that in secrecy, that when people come to us and they share stories with us, is that they don't go anywhere. So also know that we do really and truly honor that. And we don't even, when we discuss or try to brainstorm together to help people, we do that in complete confidence as well. It's usually just myself and the priest that I work with, but it is in complete confidence. So be assured of that if you share things with us, that they won't be going anywhere.
Okay. Yeah, that's an important point. Now, and you mentioned that you're headquartered in Philadelphia. What if someone, say in Phoenix, Arizona, I use Arizona because I'm in Arizona, needed some help? Is services available to them as well?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're an online ministry, and a lot of the business that we get, or I should say clients that come to us, not business, right? It is a Catholic organization. We're a Catholic nonprofit and a 501c3. It's mostly phone calls, emails that we get. And sometimes we do something like this, like a Zoom call or Skype or something. But a lot of phone calls and a lot of emails that come in. So we're just happy to make new friends and to pray for people. and to be that field hospital for so many people that have gone through difficult times.
So no matter where you're at, they can help you out. So don't be afraid to reach out.
That's right.
So great.
Thank you.
In the future, what's going on? Do you have any, how would I phrase this question now? I know we're still in a pandemic, but where do you see the foundation going in the future, especially once we get through all this stuff?
Well, I do see that we will start to do some in-person events at some point. We're going to rush into it because I know that, that's going to take some time, I think, before things go normal, and that we're gathering as big groups of people without any masks on and things like that. So I'm guessing that either sometime this year, but definitely in 2022, I see that we'll be doing more in-person events.
Okay.
I do also want to mention another endeavor, which is a side endeavor, but it does have to do with the foundation, is that Bill Snyder and I have written a book. Bill,
yeah.
my co-host with the Sowing Hope podcast from Patchwork Heart Ministry. He and myself and two other ladies named Magdalene Riggins and Jennifer Southerton came together, and we wrote a book called Hearts Burning Within Us. And what it is, it's the burning questions that young people, college age, have about their faith. And over this past summer during the pandemic, Bill Snyder and I and Maggie and Jen, we got together with about 10 or so college students on a Zoom call, because Maggie and Jen are actually campus ministers at 2 universities.
Okay.
Jen is at Lourdes University in Ohio. And Maggie used to be at DeSales University, and now she's working for the Diocese of Allentown, where she's overseeing a lot of universities in the whole Allentown area as a campus minister. Yes. So they were able to pull together about 10 students. So we got together once a week starting last spring, right around maybe this time last year. And we did that all the way through the whole entire summer. And we asked them the questions: what is important to you? What questions do you have about your faith? And so this book is going to be coming out this year. And Bill and I, our hope is that we, and possibly Maggie and Jen, if they're available to come along with us, is to do some events where we can meet in front of young people and in front of universities and families, and just talk to them about what we found out about young people and their questions of faith, and what are the correct answers. Bill is working on getting the imprimatur as well. So he's sending that to the bishop. It's in the process of being published. And so it's very exciting.
So I don't want to give any spoilers on the book, but what's maybe was there an aha moment you had when you were writing this book?
Yeah. I mean, the aha moment and I'd say that it was more Bill bringing this to my attention and to everyone else's, is that what were the main questions that young people would ask us about that are really on their hearts. That's why the book is called Hearts Burning Within Us. Mm-hmm. And those 2 areas were having to do with, number one, drinking, underage drinking. And so we did spend a lot of time on that question, because of course, a lot of young people go off to college, especially if they're living there, and they attend parties. And so we spent a lot of time unpacking that one question. And then the other questions all had to do with human sexuality. And there was a range there. And you can imagine what those questions were, what they had to do with. So, we spent a lot of time on those 2 areas. So those were probably the 2 aha moments. I mean, we had a lot of questions, though, on all kinds of things, even things like, what if you miss Mass on Sunday? And why is it better to go to Mass? I mean, of course, the answer to that. I mean, It's an obligation, right? But we unpacked it so that it made a lot of sense to them, to make your priorities really straight in your mind when you go off to college, and to keep your faith.
So that's great. So look for that book later on this year. I look forward to it as well.
Yes, thank you.
I don't know if Bill told you, but I met with him a couple of weeks ago, and we had talked about the book a little bit too. So I'm looking forward to it. So
yes. Oh yeah. He did tell me. So I haven't seen the show yet, but I'm excited to watch it.
Well, I'll tell you when we get off.
Okay.
Because this will go on so much later.
Yeah.
So if someone wanted to help support the foundation, how could they do so?
Oh, thank you so much. Well, as I said, we are a 501c3 nonprofit, and everything that we do, we are not charging for. So whether it be making these videos, the podcasts, all the editing that we do, um, our website, and simply just being there kind of, I want to say 24/7, but in all honesty, I mean, we operate during business hours, but of course I also check my phone and check for messages. So if someone were to text or send a call or something after hours, we're there. We are there, even if it is beyond the 9 to 5 Eastern time. And I'm checking it on weekends as well. I mean, like I said, we're basically business hours. But yes, what you can do is actually go on our website and you go to nonnatus.org, and there is a support us link there. Whether it be to just give us $1, $5. I mean, I do have a tab there right on the website. Just to donate $1 or $2 is helpful. If you'd like to give a bigger donation, though, we have a winter spring 2021 campaign, which is on our website. If you go to About Us and you do the drop down there, you will see the winter spring 2021. You can decide which amount. Every cent that you give is really helping us to reach more families. And as I said, we don't charge for anything that we do. So we really do appreciate that, so that we can make ends meet. Really, that's all it's about, is just being able to make ends meet so we can continue to serve.
So you can continue helping those families out there that are in crisis. That's great. So again, the website is nonnatus.org. Ann, how about you? What do you have going on? I know you're really busy.
Yeah, I'm busy between the foundation and some other things that I do. I always tell people, when people say, Ann, what do you do? I said, my primary job, and my title, other than just being Catholic wife and mother, right? That's most important. My vocation is first. But right after that is director of the St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation. That is where my heart is. That is where my soul is. I put all my time and my effort into promoting this foundation to help it to bring it to others, and also this wonderful religious order that I represent. And then I am also a third order Mercedarian. And you can learn about, like I said, the Mercedarian religious order. It's a wonderful religious order rooted in Barcelona, Spain in the year 1218 by the founder, St. Peter Nolasco. I'm a prayerful member of the religious order. So is my husband. We had to go through a whole process of becoming third order members. Aside from that, I'm also a Catholic author with 3 different sites. I'm with CatholicMom.com, Catholic 365, and also Catholic Lane. So I'm also producing articles for them all the time. And also for you authors out there, Catholic authors, is I'm always reviewing books. In fact, Sophia Press is always sending me new books to get me to review these books. So just keep that in mind, that if you want me to review your book, I can do that for Catholic Mom or Catholic 365, Catholic Lane. Now, a side note, as this complete side note of something else I do, is in my area, I'm a commercial model and actress in the greater Philadelphia area. So what that means is that once in a while, if an opportunity comes my way to do some kind of commercial or print ad or something like that for 55 plus, I do that. I've done some work for QVC, which is like a home shopping network, which is on TV. Mm-hmm. I've done a lot of skincare progressionals for them. I use skincare products for a while, and then they take like before and after shots just to see like the difference. And that's fun. That's a lot of fun. And it's just a way to bring in a little bit of extra money for my family. And like I said, that's kind of more of a hobby for me, which led me into, before I was involved in Journeys in Faith, I did used to host my own online TV show called The Positive Side in Cherry Hill, New Jersey with RVN TV. And that was an in-person interview show. It wasn't specifically a Catholic show. It was a secular show, but I also interviewed a lot of different guests, including a lot of Catholics and Christians and people who are doing wonderful things to make the world a better place. And so that's what led me into this whole podcasting and working with Bill Snyder and Kent Kolhosky and Jennifer Sinclair with Fiat Ministry Network and also with Patchwork Heart Ministry. So it's really an honor. And Bill and I started the Sowing Hope podcast literally around a year ago. And it's been very successful. We've had almost I think we're up to 110 episodes already.
Great.
Yeah. And we've hosted you, I think, a couple times.
I don't think on Sowing Hope, but I think
Oh, okay.
they air on Tuesday and Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, then we have to have you on, William. We have to have you on Sowing Hope if you haven't been there yet. So definitely we'll have you as a guest there.
Yeah, it's a great show though. I mean, I listen to it whenever I can. I catch up on the weekend if I miss one, but a lot of great guests, a lot of positive messages, great people doing great work. It's a great show.
Thank
Now,
you.
is there any maybe and is there, if a family's out there listening or watching to this and they're struggling, have any words for them? Need positive words or anything that can help them out?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would just say that I think all families and all couples go through challenges, and sometimes you need to get help. Now, many times we can pray about it, talk to a friend, talk to your pastor, and you can work it out. God will help you and guide you to be able to strengthen your marriage or your family life, whatever it is. If it's something to do with your parents, your children, friends of yours. I mean, we've had even people contact us having to do with their like nieces and nephews or cousins. I mean, we don't just get like the direct like husband, wife, brother, sister, aunt. I mean, we get literally people who are concerned for others that will call us for prayer, and because they're concerned about certain family members. So if you or someone is going through a challenge, a crisis, they need the support of a religious order, of someone who will pray, of someone who will listen. As I said, we offer that free spiritual consultation. So all you need to do is just reach out to us at nonnatus.org, and we would be so happy to make that appointment with you.
Great. Well, Anne, thank you for coming on, talking about the foundation, all the great work you're doing. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much. And you have to come on Sowing Hope soon. So thanks
Yeah,
again,
anytime.
William.
All right. Thank you. God bless.
God bless.